right, welcome back to another episode of the Carter Cast. I'm your host, Carter Bond. On today's show, we have the four-man football crew back. It's me, it's Dylan, it's Grant, and it's Connor. We're back. We hit the parlay last week. We're back with another one this week. We recap the weekend. Tennessee getting absolutely destroyed by Georgia. Bama getting upset in Baton Rouge. I was completely wrong about that one. We get into that. We talk about the college football playoff ranking, playoff chances. We preview a bunch of the big games. Baylor, Kansas State, TCU, Texas. What a weird line that is. Bama, Ole Miss, Wake, UNC, and some others. We give our picks. We preview all the NFL games and give our picks as well. We give a Grant's Jets minute, give him a couple minutes to talk about the Jets. And it's a great episode. Make sure to check out the YouTube, like and subscribe, and then also check out cartercast.com. We've been putting up blogs left and right. Multiple people putting up blogs every single day on there. So check it out, cartercast.com. I'm putting picks on there as well. We're going to put all of our picks. I know it's hard following all these different social medias. I don't expect you to do that. So just go to cartercast.com on either Saturday night, Sunday morning. We're going to have all of our NFL picks put on there. Check it out, cartercast.com. Thank you for listening again, and I hope you guys enjoy today's show. We're back. It's a celebration time, baby. We hit the parlay. 3 out of 9. You might think 3 out of 9. That's terrible. That's Hall of Fame numbers right there. Hall of Fame numbers. Dylan, give us the stat why that is a Hall of Fame number.
Well, we're hitting at 33% on a parlay that, like, you're supposed to hit 6% of the time at plus 1,200. We might be the sharpest football podcast out there. And I can't speak to NFL, yes. Sharpest NFL podcast that's out there.
There we go. I mean, we're going to get, once college football ends, we already agreed on it. College basketball parlays are coming on this show.
They have to. They have to.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
And BYU is not allowed in this, by the way. We're not allowing a single but yeah, we hit the parlay. Let's talk about college football this past weekend, though. Tennessee, Georgia, the score line, it was honestly a blowout. It was basically Georgia the whole way by 3-4 touchdowns. I think it ended up being a 14-point game. Dylan, just talk about the death of your Volunteers.
Yeah, it's sad. What hurt me most was the fact that Hooker had such a bad game. He had that interception, and any pass that he completed, he had a couple times where he could pass down the field, and he missed the guy just barely, overthrew him by no more than a yard. And that was sad to see. I do still think Tennessee can make the playoffs. A couple things have to happen, and we'll see what happens. I don't know, but it was really sad. It was sad to see. I was hoping this team would go undefeated and shock the world. It was fun while it lasted, I guess.
At the end, when they were down 2 scores with the ball, they had a couple possessions at the end to try and cover. You knew it wasn't going to happen. You just knew it wasn't going to happen. It was pouring rain. Georgia's defense was just molly-whopping Tennessee's offensive line there at the end. And it just like gave you this false hope that, like, maybe Tennessee can even come back and cover. I was on the money line as well. I wanted them to win, but Georgia looked good. But I will say real quick, that pregame atmosphere, it got me going. The pregame atmosphere was cool. I was very excited.
100%. Georgia's a different beast, man. Like, I know we've talked about it. We talked about those lines. Like, their defense is still damn good. They can control the line of scrimmage, like you mentioned, Connor. Like, it's pretty dangerous, man, this team. One of the most interesting things I saw from this game was because of this game. I don't know if it's because of this game or the full body of work from last year, but people are now comparing Stetson Bennett to Bryce Young, which I think is very interesting. I saw a couple of people basically just saying that because of the size, it's going to be their biggest detriment. I'm like, there's a little bit more into it than that. So I'm not really 100% on that board, but Georgia's a full team again. Stetson Bennett, for what he is in college, is fine. Right? He's exactly what you need in college. He can run when he needs to run. He can throw when he needs to throw. Like, as much as we don't want to admit it, he's a good quarterback for college play. I don't think it translates to the NFL, but for college, he's perfect. And obviously with a team like that, you don't really have to do too much. You just give it to your playmakers. You give it to your tight ends who are elite in this league for sure. Like, they're the best tight end tandem that they have in college football. And you rely on your defense to continuously make stops, get pressure, all the things make the other team make mistakes for you. And then I'll give it credit for Stetson, but he capitalizes whenever that defense, gives them the ball, short fields, things like that. Like, he absolutely capitalizes every single time. So, kudos on him. Kudos on the game plan. Kirby Smart has built that program to an actual what Bama was basically, and kind of like, he's on par, if not a little bit a leg up right now. So it's pretty crazy to see that Georgia program is humming right now.
Yeah, I'm not a big Kirby Smart guy though. You have to be. He's obviously probably top 2-3 coach in college football now. I always thought he was a fraud until he isn't. That's kind of how these programs roll. Like forever, there was the term Clemsoning, and then all of a sudden, Clemson's just dominating in the playoff. They're winning games. They're winning titles. That nobody even thinks. They think Clemson's going to win every big primetime matchup, and that kind of transitioned to what I want to talk about. Clemson gets destroyed by Notre Dame.
Long time coming. That was a long time coming. Clemson was not the fourth best team in the country by any means. And that was just one of the things, if you've watched football, you knew that was going to sort itself out.
The year DJ, how do you say it? Somebody say it.
Uyunglele.
Okay, the year DJ was backing up on Clemson, there was flashes and people were like, oh man, like Clemson's going to be a powerhouse even when he comes in and starts the next couple of years. He looks vulnerable. And you saw the inconsistency from Dabo with, bringing in Cade Klubnik at the end there, or trying to spark a little bit of offense. He doesn't have faith in them anymore. He doesn't have faith in DJ. It feels a little weird because, like, I really thought he was going to be a pretty good whenever he got the starting job. He hasn't been that good. So it was due. I do agree with that. It was due. The ACC is looking a little rough this year now, like playoff-wise. I don't think it's going to happen this year.
Absolutely dead. There's no chance the ACC makes the playoff.
No.
And to give credit to Marcus Freeman too. Like, I know we talked about how we didn't 100% play. To me, he feels like a rookie quarterback in the NFL. Like the highs are high, the lows are low, right? That's kind of what we experienced. And again, I think I severely underrated the transition period from, head coach to kind of get under his belt. I think it's going to take a little bit of time, but if he keeps recruiting the way he's recruiting, I mean, they could have a ton of highs here come in the future. It's just going to be the stability and that consistency in play for Notre Dame. Like, whether or not they can put it together for 4 quarters on a consistent basis for, a full body of work. As of right now, Marcus Freeman hasn't proven that, but you see flashes like this against Clemson, who for sure has superior talent, especially when you're talking about the defensive side of the ball and what they're able to do. It's very impressive. So again, with their ties to ACC, they have a much easier path than, a lot of these other schools like in the SEC and the Big Ten. But at the end of the day, like, you can only play, you can play. So I'm impressed with Marcus Freeman. I'm impressed with the Notre Dame team, but I mean, that was a whooping, boys. That was an absolute whooping.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, ACC, nobody in the playoff. People mention like Carolina, Clemson, maybe. No.
Even if Carolina won the ACC and had one loss, I still don't think they get in.
No. Tennessee would have to lose again.
Yeah.
Bama, LSU would both have to lose. A one-loss Big Ten team still gets in over Carolina.
I think so too.
Clemson.
The chips just aren't there. The chips just aren't there this year.
Absolutely not. And then last thing, probably, I mean, this is the craziest thing from the weekend. LSU beating Bama. I was dead wrong. I mean, I was so wrong on that game. Oh my goodness. And also backtracking a little bit to the Georgia-Tennessee game. Shout out Josiah, who commented on the YouTube video on the preview. He could give me a pinky promise to take Georgia -8. I was ready. I had it ready, getting ready to lock it. I waited until 3:30 at kickoff, and he never responded back. So
Josiah, he didn't call back. He didn't call back like Geno Smith. Yeah, he didn't call back.
That's true.
So, but anyhow, LSU, Bama, I was way off. I thought Bama coming off the bye against Brian Kelly, they would just absolutely dominate this team. But like Dylan, you kept reiterating it. Bama on the road, Bama on the road, Bama on the road. Bama on the road is terrible. Like they cannot win on the road unless they're playing like Vanderbilt. It's
that stadium. That stadium was rocking. That field rush at the end, that was a crazy sight.
Yeah, that game in itself was crazy. And Alabama they commit way too many penalties on the road. I think going into this game, 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 5 of their games on the road, they committed over 100 offensive penalty yards. And that right there is just, you can't get anything going when you're getting set back like that all the time. So now we're looking at an interesting situation where Alabama has 2 losses, and we discussed it a little bit. Are they going to try to get a 2-loss SEC champion Alabama into the playoff? We're going to be in for a pretty interesting couple weeks here because some decisions are going to have to be made. And no matter which one's made, I think some people are going to be pretty upset.
100%. You're 100% right. Like the SECs in the driver's seat have 2, right? And then it's to see if the Big 12 can sneak in one, and to see obviously if the Big 10 can sneak in, 1 as well, if not 2. So it's a weird spot to be in. TCU, obviously, they have everything in front of them, but you're right. Like the SEC dictates probably at least guaranteed one, but probably two, right? And so it's just whether or not it's going to be Georgia, Tennessee, Georgia, Bama, Bama, Georgia, whatever it is, right? Like we'll see what that is. And the SEC championship will have massive ramifications for teams outside of the SEC too. Like that is going to matter to a ton of teams. Like all conferences are going to be watching that, especially the Big Ten and the Big 12 this year.
That's the crazy thing is like, I texted y'all and I think I tweeted it out after the game. Tennessee is almost in a better position than Georgia, as crazy as it is to say, because they don't have to play in the SEC title game. With Bama losing and Clemson losing, they're basically guaranteed that playoff spot after beating Bama already. Yeah. They have an easy schedule. They play like Mizzou, South Carolina, Vanderbilt. They get to just cruise through the rest of their schedule. As long as they stay healthy, they're in a great spot. Obviously the SEC title game is awesome. It's awesome if you win. But like in the grand scheme of things, you want to be ready for that playoff. You don't want to risk injury. They have nothing to worry about. Like I think they're automatically in.
We wouldn't have to be talking about this if the football playoff is expanded coming up. So
yeah, BYU would be in. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, we might as well just get the field of 68. Screw it.
100%, bro. We need March Madness style, bro. Just play everyone.
So real quick, we have the college football rankings coming out tonight, I believe. How is everybody ranking these four teams? I'll go Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Tennessee.
No TCU?
No TCU. They got to win this week. If they win this week, they're in.
That's fair.
I think you may have just named the playoff.
It does feel like a playoff. You said Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Tennessee.
Yeah, that's as of this week. That's what I have.
I like that, but I think if TCU stays undefeated, I think they're in. Right? They have to be.
Yeah, if TCU stays undefeated, they're in at this point. But I don't think they do. The line tells us this week. We'll get into that line, but the line tells us TCU's losing this week.
It does. We're getting smarter on this show. We're sniffing out lines. That line's a little wonky.
But because the only thing that honestly would really affect like the top four is if a Bama or LSU beat Georgia in the SEC title game. That's it.
Exactly.
Unless like the committee just blew us all away and said, Clemson, you're in with one loss.
That would be insane.
Not after that loss. Not with Notre Dame this year. If it was a really good Notre Dame team they lost to, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it's the Notre Dame team
but Notre Dame might be picking up some like crap wins to make it look a little better.
Clemson look beatable. Like against Syracuse, they barely squeaked out that win against Syracuse. Syracuse looks bad now. Not bad, but like not as good as they were.
ACC, no. Syracuse looks bad. We don't have to say. We don't have to sugarcoat it. Syracuse is terrible. Because let's look at Notre Dame's record right now. Notre Dame's on a roll right now.
But still lost to Marshall though. I don't know. I don't know.
Marshall at home, like it's not this. Regardless of like what they are now, they're definitely not the same team that lost then. But like. It's the full body work. Like there's no way they're going to give Clemson that much like props for that. There's no way.
Doesn't it feel so long ago that we came on this show and we were just hyping up Marcus Freeman? We were on the Marcus Freeman train. I was not. Yeah, no.
Me,
Dylan, somebody was on it with me.
I was because they were playing Ohio State week 1.
Yeah, we were both on that.
That's what it was. Yeah.
And that feels like so long ago.
Just think about this. This Notre Dame team that we're saying is, not as good as we thought at the beginning of the year. They kept that game close against Ohio State.
They did.
So who's that saying something about?
But exactly, like Ohio State hasn't proven anything yet.
Because looking at that schedule right now, if Notre Dame wins out, they play USC at the end. They're 9-3.
They do play USC
at the end of the season. Yeah, last game.
What if they win and won that? Oh my goodness,
a good game, bro.
Also, that's the other thing we have to talk about is a one-loss Pac-12 team.
The Oregon one is interesting to me. The only loss is Georgia. That's the one I think could sneak in.
If that loss was just by like 20 points instead of 40, I think we're really talking about Oregon 100% being in the playoff.
But it's hard to say because I'm like that's their one loss.
And it was week 1.
The best one loss to have like you could possibly have. It's the number 1 team.
But it was by 49 points, and it was so humiliating. That's why it leaves a bad taste in every voter's mouth, every fan's mouth, and every member of the media's mouth.
So what if Tennessee got beat by 40? Then what are we talking about?
Yeah.
What? So correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there was a discussion at some time during the college football playoff in years past where one of the committee members had made mention that losses at the beginning of the season don't hold as much weight. I feel like it might have been last year with Oregon, Ohio State. Is that still a thing? Because I do think there's some merit there. If a team loses early on, but they can get it back on track, maybe
100%.
some growing pains early on. I don't know if that's a factor at all.
If you're scheduling that kind of game, I think you get credit too, right? I think
Yeah.
there was really, I mean, they're talking about it now. There's no really real reason why they should have taken that game at this point, right? Because they went against, Arkansas the Blind week 1. I mean, they'd be undefeated for sure, top 5 team, right? So it is a little frustrating, for Oregon fans, I guess. But I mean, man, it's hard to say because if they clean house and they actually go through, they're going to beat Utah twice in that case, because they're probably going to need to play them or USC in the championship game. Like, I don't know. It gets interesting.
Real quick, and then we'll move into this week's games. I think Oregon makes the playoff. That's the question I have is, if whoever loses that the Michigan-Ohio State game, a Pac-12 team that wins the Pac-12 title with 1 loss gets in over them, right?
That's what I was going to say, because, with Michigan and Ohio State, I feel like they might play play themselves out of it. One of them.
Because that's the issue with that game being at the end of the season, is that kind of hurts them. But you have to also, the counter argument is that loss to either Michigan or Ohio State is not a bad loss at all, and is probably a better loss than, let's say, Utah is. It's kind of a weird spot.
It depends how the loser of Ohio State Michigan loses too. If Michigan beats Ohio State by 3, I think the committee is going to try to do whatever they can to get Ohio State in.
I agree.
What if Michigan loses by 3?
Well, now we're just entertaining impossible outcomes. So
That's
Michigan will win that game.
That's exactly what I wanted. All right,
I love it.
Bait.
All right, anything else from this past weekend?
San Jose State, Colorado State under, huge for my night. I fell asleep there. I didn't see the kickoff of that game.
Well,
I woke up and I saw a green dot.
I was heavy on Duke first half. Easy money. Shout out Duke.
College football, I got absolutely obliterated.
Me too.
Shout out Auburn +13 interim coach game.
Yes,
I got obliterated on Saturday. And then I want to give a real shout out. He's helped us all here from time to time. Darwin Nunez deserves his own shout out on this podcast.
True.
He is just saving the accounts. I mean, my gosh.
It's hilarious because we'll be asking Carter, we'll be like, what do you like in the Liverpool game today? You got a soccer play for us? And we don't even have to ask. It's Darwin Nunez, 2+ shots on goal. Plus odds.
It's 9-1 when he starts. It is 9-1.
That's kind of crazy.
Why is it plus odds? It's plus odds. anyhow, I hope the odds makers aren't listening, because let's keep it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out Darwin Nunez, because wake up Sunday morning, I'm like, you know what? Soccer is going to dictate my day, how this goes. If soccer goes well, it's going to be a great day. If soccer goes poorly, it's going to be a bad day. Soccer went phenomenal. Liverpool wins 2-1.
So the NFL.
Yeah, and NFL. That's what I'm saying. Like, my NFL picks were going to hit as long as soccer hit 2.
Yep.
Just rolled in beautifully.
Shout out the NFL parlay. Just shout out the NFL parlay. I just got to get that
Shout
in there
out to
again.
the parlay, boys.
It's huge, man.
What are we
Jets,
at? 30
real
units?
thing.
30 units?
Ooh, we're going to talk about the Jets. Don't you worry.
It'd be 36. Yeah, 30 units.
That's
I
tough.
love it.
That parlay bought me a nice lobster roll dinner before tonight. So when you win as many parlays as we do, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to splurge.
I bought a TV. From the
Yeah,
parlay.
exactly.
That is awesome. Carter, we're getting you back on track in college this week. I just feel it. I feel in the air. If you're bought in, then the podcast is getting you back on track.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to say here too. We got to limit the college football plays. The college football plays are getting a little too meaty. And no, I'm talking on myself.
But we just had to talk about getting you back on track, Carter.
I'm not playing 15 games anymore.
Come on.
No.
Not
5.
with the NBA back, not with college basketball back. Now, I agree.
College basketball is back, and the World Cup being around the corner is very dangerous for me, because I'm going to be up at 3 a.m. half awake watching Argentina versus Saudi Arabia. So it's not good. It's not good.
You're going to be sending us World Cup plays every day.
It's going to be 2:30 in the morning. You guys are going to get a text and just being like, hey, guys, Messi to get an assist is plus 350. I really like this play. I think Higuain scores. Anyhow, let's talk college football.
Carter, when's the last time you slept? That's what we'll say.
Might have to get a prescription for something during Thanksgiving. All right. College football. I think this is the game of the week. The undefeated TCU Horned Frogs at Texas. Texas is -7. They're 6-3. Over under 64.5. This line screams Texas. Texas is winning this football game. This is the Tennessee-Georgia line all over again. They warn us. The sportsbook, they're telling us, like, this team is winning this game, by the way. We all know it. And they're begging schmoes like us to take TCU. But we're not schmoes. We're sharps. We're taking Texas -7.
Carter,
It's
they're begging us to take, really? It's Texas first half, bro. Texas first half, bro.
They're not
begging us to take.
That'll be like before they injure your quarterback and everything, because they've been injuring all the opposing team's quarterbacks the first half.
Yeah.
We'll still have Quinn Ewers in.
The most
I like
profitable bet of this year, bro. Texas first half plays. That's
But
what it's huge.
I'm on Texas -7. Just because of what the line tells you.
That's exactly what I'm on. And it basically comes down to, like, do we think this TCU team is for real? Do we think they're going to go undefeated and get in the playoff? I just can't. I can't see it, especially with this line. I was already skeptical coming in when I saw this matchup on the calendar. The line comes out. They're laying a touchdown. And everything in me is like, oh, my God, TCU's trying to get in the playoff. They're undefeated. We have to take TCU, right? Wrong. I'm on Texas, too.
I saw on Twitter, there's this guy that tweets out like he's close with the books or whatever, and he knows these traders. Someone had said that they're taking a lot of money on TCU and they're sticking at 7. So that right there tells you something too. If they're okay with keeping that number at 7, I mean, they don't want 6.5 for Texas. So I'm with you guys. I'm on Texas. I don't have any stats on me. If I made the pick, I'm sure there's something that goes and points that out, but. You're right. I don't think TCU is that team this year, and they might realize that this week.
Grant,
Seems like
are you on just the first half?
So far, I might ride with the boys full game, but as of right now, I just have the first half. Yeah.
It just
Connor,
seems like
anything?
Every game that feels like this.
Oh, you said -7.
Oh, I'm already on Texas. Yeah. And honestly, I like the first half play, too. I might put a unit on each of those. Hook 'em horns.
I might do both too. I mean, Texas first half.
Texas at home is
good to
nasty,
us.
bro.
Texas first half has been very good to us.
And TCU is giving up so many rushing yards. They gave up over 200 to Texas, almost 200 to Texas Tech.
Bijan Robinson might have 150 yards.
That might be the prop play right there.
That was going to be my next thing. Robinson over rush yards. I don't care what it's at.
He is so good. He is so good.
He's going to have 150 plus.
It's inevitable.
Unless that's TCU's game plan, is they injure him instead of Ewers.
Why not both?
Texas
Not
first half,
why
Texas
not
full
both,
game.
but not why not both, but what if both? I should say.
What if?
Dylan, true or false? Are you a guy that wishes injury upon people?
No.
Are you lying?
I know. My goodness, lie, bro.
No.
That pause said everything.
Unless
That
it's an
pause said
Ohio State
everything.
quarterback. No.
No,
Unless it's a tight end on the Kansas City Chiefs.
No, what are you talking? No. There are things, there are injuries that are minor. As me, I have a fractured sesamoid bone in my toe. Not life threatening. I can't go play basketball at the gym for a couple weeks, but I don't know. But I would never wish that on somebody. I mean,
How'd that happen? Did you kick the wall when Tennessee lost? Because I did a couple times. I'm not gonna lie.
I need some steel-toed boots for those Tennessee games.
Mm-hmm.
All
Hey,
right.
it's a hell of a season, bro. Either way.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving on. The 17th ranked North Carolina Tar Heels in Winston-Salem at Truist Field against the 21st. All these rankings will change. We're recording at like 5 p.m. on Tuesday. Wake Forest probably not going to be ranked.
No.
Wake Forest is -3.5. And a little backtrack. Remember my cardinal rule? You got to take the unranked home favorite against a ranked team. This is going to fall in that category. That's why I love the Wake Forest Demon Deacons here. It went 2-1 last weekend. Pitt was a high unit play. Don't recommend high unit plays on Pitt, but Pitt was a high unit play. And Wake's my favorite play this week now because
Go ahead, keep going.
Oh, I'm just saying Wake's my favorite play this week just because that they're an unranked team at home going against a ranked team.
The only reason I would say I'm not taking Carolina here on the spread. The only reason I would say stay away from the spread is because what if this hasn't been fluky for Wake the last 2 weeks? What if Sam Hartman turns it over 4 times again? Carolina defense sucks, but still, what if he fumbles twice? I'm staying away from the spread. If I'm going anything, I'm leaning the over. I know it's in the 70s. I know
77.
It was 58 to 55 last year. Carolina won at home. 58-55. Defenses are not any better. Carolina lost their best defender, Noah Taylor, linebacker, leading tackler, best rusher. Des Evans, opposite side edge rusher, out for the year. Defense is not getting any better. There might be 100 points in this game. And Carolina, as much as I hate to say it, they're due for a loss. They're due for a loss.
I saw the defeat in his face too. I've seen that look before from other people. Looking in the mirror, I saw defeat in Connor's face right there.
I've watched Carolina football for too many years. They're not finishing the season with 1 loss. They will not finish the season with 1 loss. This is prime letdown spot.
Would you rather? What if you win this game but lost to NC State?
I'd rather lose this game 100 million %. I'm not even close. I'd rather Wake win by 50. And then Carolina beat NC State, F State.
Okay. No, but Sam Hartman's going to throw all over this Carolina defense. He's done it every year he's been in school. And A.T. Perry is, I think he's the most underrated receiver in college football. We talked about it before the show, before we started recording. A.T. Perry, whatever his receiving prop is, it might not even be 100. Just hammer. Put the effing sledgehammer on it. I'm going to take the alternate line at +1 or at 150 plus.
Legitimately take A.T. Perry.
Is gone. They don't have anybody.
120 yards is guaranteed from A.T. Perry. I will guarantee it. And maybe receptions too. I'd lean the yards just because they'll probably get 2 70-yard touchdowns. But either one, honestly, you can't go wrong.
Exactly. Grant, Dylan, I know you guys just completely zone out on here when we talk ACC football. It's weird that 2 dudes actually watch ACC football, which makes no sense. You don't hear anybody in the world doing that. But do you guys have anything in this game?
I don't. I'll keep it short and simple. I don't. With ACC football, y'all know
Grant, I'm begging you, just take A.T. Perry prop with me.
Okay, I'll play it. 100%. I'm in.
Does anybody have a play on this total? Because Connor mentioned it. I mean, it's 77. And I mean, what, last year over 100 points?
It's 77.
I think it's down to 76.5 now. Not that makes a big difference. I'm taking the over. I'm going to let it go down a couple more points, hopefully. I'm going to take the over. I'm serious. I think the defenses are that bad.
Carter, Grant?
I'm on Wake. I don't want to cheer for an over. I want to just cheer for Wake. And then A.T. Perry, baby. A.T. Perry every which way. He dominated Carolina last year too. I mean, to be fair, every receiver in that Carolina Wake game had all-time numbers, but
that was an insane game. Also, another prop I don't hate that I might take that's hit the last 3-4 weeks. If Drake May's rushing prop is anywhere in the 50s, take it. Because he's had he's hit that in the last few games at least. And especially if it's a high-scoring game.
All right, let's move on.
Well, hold on. I haven't given my pick yet. I am on the under, and Carter, you are as well, and Grant, you are as well.
Ooh, okay.
Oh,
we're taking under 77 North Carolina Wake Forest. Let me tell you why. The last time this game was played in Winston-Salem, 42 total points. This was in 2019, and only 2 North Carolina games.
That's so long ago, though. That's like saying that doesn't make any sense. It's like saying this Duke team this year is better than a Duke team in the 90s.
Or are we saying that North Carolina's offense stalls on the road when they're playing at Winston-Salem, or Wake Forest's defense steps up?
It's a completely different offense. It's like comparing the 2022 Panthers to the 2015 Panthers.
Okay. Well, then let's talk about this year, because there's only been 2 games that North Carolina games have gone over 77.
Now you're talking.
One Wake Forest game's gone over 77, and it was against Clemson, and it took overtime to get there. So
it didn't take overtime to get there. It didn't take overtime to get there. It was already in the 50s before overtime.
Wake Forest has not played Carolina's defense this year. Carolina has the worst defense in the ACC.
Well, Wake Forest, this is going to sound stupid, I know, but Wake Forest is allowing 377 yards of total offense this season. But when the total is that high to 77, I actually think that number is pretty low. So I am playing the under. You guys are going to be playing the under as well, Connor. You don't have to, but Carter and Grant have to.
I'm betting it as we speak, literally right now.
Let's go.
Because I feel like it's going to get a worse number. So right now.
Yeah, I'm just going to get it at 77 and just.
Yeah, it actually might go down a few points. Yeah.
All right, it's in, boys, officially.
Let's have some fun, boys. Welcome to the dark side.
Oh man.
I'm gonna put. I'm gonna have to up my unit size on Wake just to balance out that loss of the over or the under. All right, let's move on. Bama at Ole Miss. Bama -12. -12. I don't know what to do in this one. I'm gonna stay away because just Bama's burned me one too many times. I mean, it feels like the week 2 take Bama because 88% of the money and 83% of the public are on Ole Miss. It's going to be super public taking Ole Miss +12 at home. And
Carter, didn't you say Ole Miss is frauds, bro? Wasn't that your exact word?
I do think Ole Miss are frauds, but this Bama team's burned me one too many times. I kind of want to stay away.
They didn't burn me last week. That's why I'm going Alabama this week. They're 5-0 in the last 5 games, coming off a loss. I think this might be a beatdown.
Over under 63.5, by the way.
I'm on Bama. I'm not taking the total.
I'm with Carter here. I think that Ole Miss might not be as good as people think they are. But then again, you have Alabama on the road. They've been so bad this year. I don't have anything. If I were to lean anything, I would lean Ole Miss just because I don't trust Alabama when they're not at home.
But Ole Miss's defense is just, I was looking at their schedule before the show, gave up 28 to A&M, 45 to LSU, 34 to Auburn, 28 to Vanderbilt.
Guys, what are we complaining about? Let's just take the over.
I took wasn't it last year Ole Miss Alabama over was something abnormally high, and I took it, and I think 40 points were scored.
Yeah, it was 80.5.
It was the most painful thing I ever did. I remember sitting at the poker room at Hollywood Casino Lawrenceburg watching that game, and I was like, there's no way this is happening.
That's the worst because, like,
I'm with Connor, man. I'm with you, Connor.
When you take a total above like 70, and then there's 7 points after the first 3 or 4 drives, you're screwed. You're already screwed. It's already over. It is weird.
I'm with Connor, man. Bam on a bounce back, Nick Saban on a bounce back. I'll take it all day. Even though it is away, it's an Ole Miss. Don't love that, but
I think Bryce Young has a great game.
-12's not bad. I think I'm gonna take Bama, and I'm gonna look at the first half line. I can't see it right now. It's not popping up. So we'll see what that looks like. But I'm definitely taking Bama on this one, boys.
Does Saban murder Lane Kiffin in games? I know obviously last year Bama whooped them, but I think Kiffin usually gets spanked by Saban, right?
I think he's lost every matchup so far. The only one that had beaten Saban was Kirby Smart from his previous coaching tree, right?
I think so. It's a 3:30 kickoff, which also makes me like Bama a little more. I don't like Bama on the road at night. Bama on the road at night's bad juju. But I don't know. I'll stay away. It opened at 13.5.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna take it probably day before maybe.
All righty, and then moving on. Get this pulled up. I feel like we kind of have to talk real quick. Does anybody have a play in UCF Tulane? They're both top 25.
I don't.
Okay.
I haven't watched enough of either team.
Mm-hmm.
LSU at Arkansas. LSU coming off, one of the craziest wins. Beating Bama. They're only -3 to this terrible Arkansas defense. Over under 64. I kind of like the over in this one.
Arkansas's home, right?
Yes,
yeah.
It's at Arkansas.
Yeah. I see this as a pretty big letdown spot.
I think it's an 11 a.m. kickoff in Arkansas. They Central Time?
Mm-hmm. I think Arkansas would be.
Okay,
I see a letdown spot. It's not a big play for me. I don't have anything written down on it, but LSU coming off, the biggest win of their season, obviously. I like Arkansas to keep it within 3. If it got to 2.5, I wouldn't take it. I don't even really know if they win, but if you're giving me 3 points, I'm going to take that.
I would also lean Arkansas. I'm not going to make an official play on this game just because watching LSU beat Alabama, that kind of gives me cold feet. It is a potential letdown spot, though. They're getting that national attention, even reemerging in some playoff talks. I don't know if they can handle that. This is a pretty big letdown spot, but I'm going to stay away as of right now.
Yeah, I lean with you guys on Arkansas. I think I'm going to take a unit on it. I don't think I can take LSU on this thing. I'm not a firm believer that LSU is going to be in the playoff at the end of the day. Arkansas is kind of one of those really good teams at home. So And Pittman's really good at covering. I don't know. So if you're giving me 3 points, I kind of like that. I kind of like that game.
Oh, he covers against BYU, Grant. And like
in the spread in general, bro, he covers a lot of games.
I think my grandma could cover against BYU. I mean,
basketball or football? Basketball or football?
Both.
Carter, why are you plugging us in a negative way right now, bro? I didn't even bring us up.
We should be talking about BYU in a negative way. Yeah, we beat Boise State. Whatever. You beat Idaho State in basketball by 4 points. Hey, cover the live line though. Let's go, Grant. Grant, I'm going to ride with you on Arkansas +3. This line screams Arkansas. It's just a unit play, nothing crazy. But it's a clear letdown spot on the road. I was hoping this would be a night game. It's kind of disappointing that this isn't the ESPN 7:00 game. Arkansas is going crazy, but I'm gonna go Arkansas +3. I wish I had the stat on me. Is LSU bad in noon games?
Ooh, I don't know if it's top.
I don't have that info.
Because Tennessee LSU was a noon game, correct?
Ooh, I think it was, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yes,
it 100% was. It 100% was.
I'm looking at it right now. They are get the stats department on this one. So Bama night game.
Jamie, pull that up.
Let's see here. Yep. Let's see here. So this is only their second noon game of the year. Only their second noon game.
Was there other one Tennessee?
Other one was Tennessee.
Accent for that time, dude. He's not used to coaching at that point. He's still practicing his Southern accent at that point in the day. That's for sure what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on Arkansas +3.
I love it.
And then already, anything else on that game?
Not for me.
All right. Kansas State on the road in Waco playing Baylor. Baylor's -2.5. The over-under is 52.5. Kansas State's ranked, right?
13th right now. That'll probably change, but
the rankings might have come out while we're on this Zoom call. I love Baylor here. The Baylor is a part of the rule. I have to take Baylor.
Yep.
Feed me Baylor with a spoon. I'm all over this game. I love Baylor in this spot, especially if you can still get it at the 2.5. 3's a little different, but Baylor's just a completely different team at home than away, and specifically their defense. Their defense has taken great steps when they're at home. Kansas State, I don't know if this goes into handicapping at all, but Kansas State hasn't forced a turnover on defense in away games yet. They have not forced a turnover, no interceptions, no fumbles. So I like Baylor here. That's my biggest college play of the weekend.
That's all I needed to hear. I came into this podcast with an open mind on this game. I was not leaning strongly one way or the other. I'm now on Baylor -2.5. Thank you.
Baylor -2.5 written down on here.
It's scary. We're all on it, but we're all thinking the same thing. Baylor at home, that's exactly what I was going to say. Is what Dylan said, is a different animal than Baylor on the road. On the road, they are awful. There's something wrong with this team. They're broken on the road. I think they've lost to BYU. They've lost multiple games in conference down the road. They're not good. But at home, they're a completely different team. It's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde personified at a football team when it comes to playing at home and playing away. It's for sure correct. Like, that's the way you look at it, and you got to look at it. So this spot, like I said, I think Vegas is warning us that that's the line to take. Again, we'll see what happens, but I think we're all in it for the same reasons. I like it.
Kansas State's, I love Kansas State for what they've done for me. I didn't take them last week against Texas. But that Oklahoma State game was just so beautiful.
Amazing.
Oh, so beautiful. But, anything else on this game? I don't really have too much to add. I just think this line tells you Baylor's winning this football game. We might go 5-0.
Yeah, we're on the same side of a lot of things. This week.
Yeah.
It's week 11. Maybe we're starting to figure something out. Who's to say? I don't want to say it, but don't let us get hot.
Exactly.
All right,
I was down 15 units last night. It's fine. Forget it.
Yeah, college football only being down like just a slight, 8 units, 9 units. NFL going up like 36, even more than that because of the parlay. We were. Oh, and shout out the 3-hour church parlay. Seattle money line, Bears +4, Jets +10.5, baby.
Bro, that Jets play, boys. I know we'll get to it, but that was always written in the stars. That was a guarantee.
Okay, let's roll into picks. Connor, give me your picks.
I got a short card this week, so I am going to take Texas -7. Love that. We're all on that. I think I'm going to take Texas first half for a unit as well whenever that line drops. The Carolina weight game we covered, y'all are all on the under. I'm going to see how low the total gets. I think I'm going to end up taking the over. And out of principle, I'm going to put a unit on Carolina money line. I do not advise that for anybody listening to this. Don't do it. Don't be like me, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Alabama -11.5. So what I see that right now for a unit. I'm going to stay away from LSU, Arkansas, and I'm going to put a unit on Baylor as well. And then outside of the games we covered, I'm going to roll with Clemson -7. Actually, weirdly enough, I was looking through some of these totals. I'm taking Purdue, Illinois over 44. I think Purdue is not bad.
I don't hate that.
So I think Purdue, Illinois over 44. I'm going to take. It's a pretty low number for college football in general, outside of the ACC. And then only other one I'm looking at right now is Pittsburgh, Virginia. Their total's 40.5. I'm going under, and I'm going first half under 20.5. I think that is a disgusting game, especially without Pitt's star running back. So put that on my card. Probably a unit on each of those. Total under 44, under 40.5, and then first half under 20.5. That's all I'm on right now.
I don't hate that Pitt game. Is Virginia kind of, getting in their stride a little bit? I mean, they put up points on Carolina.
They haven't scored more than 20 points in a game all year until they played Carolina, except week 1 versus Richmond, but that doesn't count. But they scored 28 on Carolina. I don't think that carries over to Pittsburgh. I'm sorry. Give me the under. I think it's like a 10-17 game at the most.
Perfect. Grant, give me your card.
All right, I'm riding with you guys, or at least you, Carter, on the prop bet for the Wake Forest game. Texas first half will probably be my play in the college football parlay, but riding with the Hogs with you guys as well. And then riding with Bama -12 against Ole Miss. And then I'm missing one of the last ones. Baylor -2.5. That's my card. Very short, sweet, simple.
Dylan.
All right, bear with me. Kent State -2.5. Northern Illinois, Western Michigan under 49.5. Navy +16.5, Arkansas +3, Illinois -6.5, James Madison, Old Dominion under 46.5, Louisville +7, Northwestern Minnesota under 41, Arizona State +7, Arizona State +7.5. Love this one. My second favorite play of the week, Mississippi State +16.5 against Georgia.
You stole it from me.
Major letdown spot for Georgia.
You stole it from me.
And they have Kentucky next week. Just saying. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line there. Georgia could very well lose this game. Baylor -2.5. North Carolina, Wake Forest under 77. Texas -7. Arizona, UCLA over 77.5.
Oh my gosh.
I told myself I was done with college football overs, but I like that one too much. We'll see how this treats me.
That's wild, bro.
Holy card.
Yeah.
I told myself I was going to limit myself to 5 plays, keep it down. That's a lie because I'm forced to take this Wake UNC under. So I have to combat that with 2 plays to 2 to 3 plays to make sure I, get my money, get my wins back, as they say.
It's going to suck when it's 35-31 at halftime of that game.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be painful at the end of the first quarter. And we're going to halftime here. End of the first quarter, 21-21.
Drake May and Sam Hartman combined for 700 yards.
Yeah, it's going to be like that Baker Pat Mahomes game. Anyhow, my picks, Texas -7, Texas first half -4, got to ride with the crew. Wake, I'm going to buy the hook, take it down to -3. I don't like 3.5. Give me -3 on there. AT Perry props every which way. I'm going to be taking receptions, mainly yards. Yards is my favorite one. Yards, I'm going to do the alternate line too if I'm able to. And then I will do touchdowns as well. Arkansas +3, Baylor -2.5, Mississippi State. I bought the half point at +17. I mean, I think it hits either way. I'm not too concerned. I would take it anywhere down to 14. I think they keep it within 2 touchdowns. I love Mississippi State for every reason Dylan mentioned. I had them on the card. That was the first thing I wrote down this week. I saw that line, massive letdown spot. This Mississippi State team isn't as bad as some of their scores have been and some of their games have been. And this is a classic where Georgia did kind of like the Missouri game, where if Georgia doesn't get up for a game, they can put themselves in a very, very bad spot. They get up for a game, they're obviously like Oregon, like Tennessee. They're going to just come out, stomp on your throats early. I don't like going against Georgia, but I think this is the best spot to go against Georgia. And then I have to take Wake UNC under 77. Rest in peace to me. And then rest in peace to the undefeated record for the over-under bet. I'm sorry, Dylan. I'm sorry.
That's what the haters like to say. I didn't think it would come from within the podcast. I thought it'd be, a comment online. But
I hate on it every week and it still hits. So let's just keep this train going.
The quest for 6-0.
All right, and then I have a request. I need a play in NC State, Boston College. NC State's minus 19 and over-unders 42.5.
Okay, I got one for you that I like.
Over.
Already. Well, maybe no. I like NC State first half minus 10.
Ooh.
I think they come out fired up, hot. I don't know if they'll cover the numbers like 19.5, 20 right now. I think NC State first half minus 10, at least a push.
Ooh.
I don't think. All right, we'll put that in the tickler file. I think over might be the play.
Yeah,
I don't think this NC State quarterback's that bad.
I don't think so either. The third stringer, he's actually not bad at all.
I don't think he's that bad. I think Devin Leary was getting a little too much hype.
Oh my gosh, people were saying NC State college football playoff before the year. Give me a break on that.
Hey, don't hate on our guy, Big Game Boomer.
Oh, I would never.
Oh, I'll hate on him. He's the biggest Michigan hater since Brandon Walker last year. I'll hate it. If he's listening, I hate you, Big Game Boomer.
Since Brandon Walker last year.
I'll clip that and send it to him. Real quick before we move on to the NFL, I did want to say I'm going to have you guys early Saturday morning, late Friday night. Send me your entire card, and I'm going to put it into one blog on cartercast.com. We'll put it all there, put unit sizes and everything.
Oh, okay.
I
thought about that. I thought about we should make a little section on the website that tracks our picks and how much we're up or whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to get that started. We're going to start off with the blogs. If it's, people like it, then we're going to keep it going, make it its own tab on the website. We'll get it worked out.
We could do a competition, whoever's up the most units at the end of the season. I don't know. We got time to think of it.
But some people are
place BYU money line bet in the middle of the game plus 330.
You're right.
I think live bets can't count.
Boys, that's where I make my bread and butter, bro. It's right there.
Some are saying we shouldn't track college football bets after what happened last weekend, but
no, dude, we're due for a beautiful. I feel this might be the week where college football goes just insanely well, and then we give it back on Sunday.
Yep.
No, I hope not.
We're due for one of those too. We're so due for one of those.
All right, let's move on to the NFL.
All right, let me just.
You're fine. I can edit it all out.
I was gonna say, do y'all have your picks? I'm still a little. I'm between.
Oh, I got mine, baby.
All right. Let's do the college football podcast parlay. Dylan, you have your pick. I don't know if anybody else does. Maybe Grant. Let's see. Dylan, give us your pick.
Baylor minus 2.5.
Oh. Right. Grant, you go next.
Mine is whatever the number is of Texas first half, bro. I'm going back to the well, boys. Just like Dylan with his unders, bro. I'm going back to what works, what made us money in this parlay. So I'm going back to Texas, whatever first half is against TCU.
I'm going to go Mississippi State plus 17.
I love it.
Out of principle, I like Illinois, Purdue over 44, but out of principle, I think I'm going to stick with ACC here. Guys, I'm not going to lie. Tell me which one you like better, because I'm looking at Pittsburgh, UVA, first half, under 20.5.
Okay, what's the other one?
The other one was Purdue, Illinois over 44.
I kind of like the Purdue, Illinois one a little more.
Really? Dylan, you have
three touchdowns is very easy. 3 touchdowns is not a lot.
Do you like Purdue, Illinois more?
Yeah,
and the Pitt running back might play. There's a chance he might play.
He might score 3 in the first half if he plays. All right, we'll go Purdue, Illinois over 44.
All right, there it is. And then also, let me write this down real quick. But while I'm talking, we're recording on Tuesday, so I think our picks can be excused this week. A lot can change from Tuesday to Saturday and Sunday. So we're at a disadvantage this week, but no excuses here. No excuses.
No. When you're when you're as sharp as we are, sometimes you just have to put yourself at a disadvantage just to keep it interesting, It gets boring being so profitable.
We have to handicap our handicap, okay?
You said 44.5?
I think it's just 44 on the dot.
44? Okay.
Guys, keep going. I'll be right back.
All righty, getting this in. Grant, it is Texas first half -4.
Beautiful.
I feel like I've seen that pick in the parlay a few times this year, and it is
Oh.
it. It is it.
Literally, it's so spicy every time, bro. That -4 line, I'll take it all day, bro.
All righty, that is the college football CarterCast parlay. It is Purdue, Illinois, over 44. Texas, first half, -4 against TCU. Mississippi State, +16.5 against Georgia. And then Baylor, -2.5 against Kansas State. We are running out of time. We need to hit this ASAP, or else we are going to finish negative units on the year.
We're due. We're due.
This is week 11. This is week 11. So we have one more week until it is no longer possible to be positive units.
Do you believe in miracles? Do you believe in miracles? I do. Look at BYU
won a football game last week, so miracles are possible.
Miracles on the Smurf turf too, bro.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll move on to NFL. All right, let's talk about the NFL. Before we get into this week's picks and previews and all that, let's talk about the New York Jets. The New York Jets are legit, man. There we go. We got Grant awake now. Zach Wilson is not that bad. We said on the last podcast, rest in peace, Grant. He wasn't able to be on it. We said as long as Zach Wilson throws less than 2 picks, he can throw 1. As long as he doesn't throw 2 picks, the Jets are going to win football games.
100%, bro. The rest of okay. Let me just state right now, boys. The Jets have
I'm going to mute my mic.
Have a top what defense? They have a top maybe 3 for sure, probably 3. Top 3 defense, right? And you could probably argue when Buffalo's healthy, they're probably number 1. Denver's right up there as well, but Jets are right there, man. And you could argue the best defense to me, and I would 100% like I could see it. I could see the argument for sure. Jets are unbelievable on defense. They have talent top to bottom. Like we've talked about it. Defensive line, linebacker, corners. Sauce Gardner is legitimate a Pro Bowl candidate already as a rookie. Like I think if they redraft him now, I don't see how he doesn't go number 1 overall. He's an actual franchise-changing player when you're considering a cornerback at the position. Like he's just playing that good. He's a top 3 cornerback right now. Like PFF rating, all the stats, everything backs it up.
Speaking of defensive players, I want to throw in there because you are the world's number 1 Michigan fan. I think you have to have Aiden Hutchinson in that conversation. He's playing a less glamorous spot, but
100%. That's still the argument I've heard. I've only heard Aiden Hutchinson or him. Like basically, you redrafted now, one of those 2 would definitely go number 1 overall, which is insane. That's awesome, man. Like, but if you get the cornerback after Stingley already went and he's playing that well, it is pretty impressive. So I would not be mad at all to hear that Aiden Hutchinson would go number 1 overall if we redrafted now. But I'm telling you, I could see the argument for Sauce 1 or 2. So very impressive. Defense is unbelievable, man. Like, here's the deal. Zach Wilson's learning, and they have the right formula. You got to run the football. You got to play ball control, get the ball out of Josh Allen's hand, which they did great. And then they blitz Josh Allen. This is crazy, y'all. The second least amount in his entire career as an NFL quarterback, which means they basically just trusted their guys up front to get pressure, which they did. They got 5 sacks and I think 15 pressures. I think what it was. So 5 sacks, 15 pressures, not blitzing whatsoever in the entire game at all, which to me is the true pure defense, right? Because that's where you don't get burned. That's where you don't because if you blitz at the wrong time, they run a screen or they run a certain play, you are going to get burned. So if you're able to get pressure and you're able to get sacks without even having to bring extra help, it's a dangerous defense. That's honestly what is the good recipe against Patrick Mahomes, right? That's how he lost the Super Bowl to the Buccaneers, right? They didn't have to blitz. They were able to get pressure up front. So if you can do that to these top tier quarterbacks, you can kind of stay in any game. Now, the $1 million question is whether Zach Wilson can continue to play at that level compared to the New England level, right? You have
right.
very, very stark contrast play. I think it's more indicative of what he did in the Buffalo game, because if you look at Denver, 0 picks, Green Bay, 0 picks, Miami, 0 picks, like most of the games he's played, 0 picks, right? Outside of the New England game and of course the Pittsburgh game, but he still came back and won that game. So he's taking care of the football. They're running the ball effectively, which is pretty crazy with how many injuries they've had on the offensive line.
Shout out Michael Carter.
Yeah, Michael Carter's legit, man. Carter's awesome. And James Robinson was a huge addition. So look,
yes,
they're good. I don't think they're, top whatever defense. The power ranking just came out. I saw they're like 8th. That's probably about where they're at. They are a legitimate playoff team this year, which is crazy to think that we're saying that at this point in the year, but they are. I don't think they're anything near like when they're going to be at the AFC Championship game, but at least to say like this year they're ahead of schedule. To me, they remind me of like the Braves last year when they were just ahead of schedule. They are kind of that team that caught fire, just a team that's like a young team rebuilding, but they're ahead of schedule. It just depends on if Zach can play that, stabilizing role, not make too many mistakes and continue to play. But he's playing well, man. He's doing what they're asking him to do. I'm impressed.
And that was Grant's Jets minute. There we go. That's what we need.
There we go.
He's back, baby.
Jets. Sorry.
Let's talk football. Thursday night, maybe the greatest show on turf. The Atlanta Falcons at the Carolina Panthers. Falcons -3, over under 44. Why are the Carolina Panthers going to win this game?
Defense.
We gave up 42 points against the Bengals. I don't know about defense anymore.
It's Joe Burrow, not It's Mariota, not Joe Burrow, though. I don't know.
Mariota put up 34 on us.
I was going to bring up that game. The Panthers won't lose to them twice, right? No way.
I will say it is very difficult to beat the same team twice in a year. I'm on the Falcons. I got the Falcons -1.5 last week. I would not take them at 3 just for the point that you had just brought up. These divisional games, it is just extremely difficult to beat a team twice.
It is. And that's why, like, Carter, you mentioned the weather before. If it rains, I might not do this. I kind of like the over here. Weirdly enough, it's 43.5. PJ Walker starting again, but the Falcons aren't anything to boast about. Obviously, the over skyrocketed the last time they played in Atlanta. I don't hate the over here. I probably won't take the Panthers +3 just because that's disgusting, but I kind of like the over.
I'm staying away. I'm not going to.
You're not going to play, Carter? Are you kidding me?
Carter!
No.
Come on.
No.
I'm taking the Falcons, boys. I'll be the person that helps you guys win, bro. I'll take the Falcons.
We don't want to win. No. Bet the Panthers, please. We do not want to win. The best thing that secretly, as painful as it was in the moment, the best thing that happened to the Carolina Panthers was losing that game against the Atlanta Falcons, because that might give us Bryce Young. Possibly the biggest game besides the Super Bowls in Panther history might be on Christmas Eve. Who do we play on Christmas Eve, you ask? Panthers at home to the Lions. That might be the biggest game for the Panthers' future.
The Lions are going to take a quarterback in the draft, though?
They should. They will.
Would they?
They love Will Levis.
Wait, so they're done with Goff?
I think they would move on from Goff, yeah.
But their offense is not the issue of that team.
Yeah, it's pretty bad right now.
That's just true. Their defense is atrocious, bro.
I think a lot of that team is atrocious, to be honest.
What teams are actually guaranteed to get quarterback? For sure, Panthers, right?
Texans,
yeah. I think they're probably done with Davis Mills.
How did the Falcons do?
I don't think the Lions are guaranteed.
What's up?
What was?
I said Desmond Ritter. No love for Desmond Ritter.
Oh, I guess you're right. I didn't think about that. You're right.
I'm just saying, maybe.
Desmond Ritter and Kellen Mond are like the same thing to me. Like, they're just going to be backups until they're not. But I think you're also right. Like, I think if Will Anderson is sitting there for the Lions, I think like the Lions take him. But the other thing you have to think about, Dan Campbell actually might be on the hot seat a little bit. I think he might have to go quarterback. Him and the GM might have to go quarterback to save their jobs.
Interesting. I mean, that's probably a hot take, right? Like, the quarterback is a sexy pick to get everyone like calm your tits. Like, give me 2 more years with this guy to see if he's the guy. Like, it's true.
Will Levis.
It's almost like a reset.
He'll be a great Detroit Lion.
Please, somebody else take Will Levis and just do not let him be there at the Panthers pick, because I can't. I just can't.
I would. Panthers for sure. Texas for sure. That's probably of the teams that are tanking right now. Guaranteed, huh?
Because I don't think anybody outbeats the Texans, Lions, and Panthers on a tankathon.
I don't think so either.
You may say the Colts. The Colts are in the conversation. They're going to go quarterback.
Shout out Jeff Saturday. That was out of left field. What do
y'all think about Green Bay? You think they actually? I know they still have what's his name?
Love.
Yeah, Jordan Love. Do you think they go quarterback as well, or do you think there's like, we're just going to ride with Jordan Love and see what happens? We've already had.
I don't think they go quarterback.
Well, they're paying Rodgers $50 million. They better ride with him.
But I think he's done this year, right?
I don't know about that.
We'll see.
All right, before we'll move on to some games, but then real quick, doesn't Will Levis seem like an Indianapolis Colt?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he looked beautiful in that blue.
Oh,
for sure
he would look great. Yeah, Dylan would love that in his division.
He doesn't even have to change uniforms. He just has to change the letters. He can keep the same ones, just change the letters on it.
Exactly.
Isn't Lexington like only a couple hours from Indianapolis, or am I getting my Midwest wrong?
That's probably three or four. It's not bad.
Not too far. Not bad. All right, moving on. The Seattle Seahawks. I love this Seattle team, by the way. I absolutely love watching the Seattle team. They're fun to watch.
They are.
Big Geno guy. Seattle at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's -2.5. Over under 44.5. I'll let Grant start with this one.
I like Seattle, man. I like taking Seattle and almost and like keeping the hot hand, man. Like, I don't know if I
hand
like
hand up. I apologize. This game is in Munich.
Mm-hmm.
It is not in Tampa. It is a 7:30 or a 9:30 Eastern kickoff in Germany.
Church game.
It's a Germany
game.
game?
Yeah, Germany game this year.
What the hell? That's wild, bro. That's
so that changes things a little bit. Geno, Germany, kind of sounds a little similar.
Bro, I think he likes Germans, bro.
We're grasping for straws now.
Say it one more time.
It was the line.
Yeah, they're +2.5, right?
Yeah, Seahawks are +2.5. Over under 44.5.
If I'm gonna bet it, I'm not betting the spread, but I'm gonna bet the over 44.5.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I think the over's the play here.
I agree with that.
Can score.
Bundesliga scores a lot of goals, a lot of games. The over/under in Bundesliga games are usually like 3.5 goals. That's a lot for soccer. Points are scored in Germany.
It's a fast country, fast field.
Mm-hmm. A lot of goals.
Blitzkrieg. Anyways, I kind of like the over as well. I kind of lean Tampa here though. That was a gross game against the Rams. But eventually Tampa's offense has to wake up, right?
No, they don't.
I think they might. I kind of lean Tampa here. I'm not going to lie. I don't really have like any data or numbers. It's just kind of a gut feeling.
Geno like Tom Brady this year, though. Just throwing that out there.
I like Tampa here, too. I got it at -1.5 last week. I would still take it at 2.5. I don't know if I'm feeling the over with you guys. I think that Tampa Bay's pass defense actually isn't that bad, and that's really I guess they could get Kenneth Walker going, but even with the run attack,
anytime touchdown king right now.
Yeah. As much as I hate to say it, you're right.
My fancy savior.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm with Connor. I would lean Tampa Bay. I have it at a better number. I would still lean it though at 2.5.
I think I'm going to take a unit on Tampa -2.5. The more I think about it, the more I think Tom Brady and that offense does bounce back this week.
Nice.
I don't want to go against my dog Geno, dude. Geno's won me so much this year.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm on the Seahawks every time I'm on the Seahawks. I'm on the right side. He's good. He's genuinely good. Is he a top 10 quarterback? Top 10?
This year,
he didn't call back.
Yes,
top 5 quarterback this year?
He's legit.
He's playing better. Is Geno Smith a top 5 quarterback in the NFL this year? Yes or no?
No.
I think 5's pushing it.
Give me 5.
He made.
All right.
Mahomes,
Josh Allen.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts.
I would say Hurts. Yep. Kirk Cousins, I would put above him. I hate to say it.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins, I would put above him.
For sure.
This year, I think they're pretty comparable this year.
I would put Joe Burrow.
Oh, Joe Burrow is having a good year.
For sure.
I would.
I wouldn't put him above Herbert
had
this
a
year.
disappointing year this year, yeah.
I thought about Herbert. I guess I wouldn't do that.
I thought about Herbert as well. I also thought Tua.
Oh yeah, I'd put Tua above
sure.
I think Tua's above.
Top 7, top 8. That's not bad.
Anybody above that? Zach Wilson, Danny Dimes.
I was gonna say Danny Dimes. Because Giants are pretty good, but he's been okay. He's been serviceable.
Justin Fields of the last 2 weeks, Ohio State legend. Ohio State, maybe
Please.
What?
I saw. This is no joke. I saw somebody on Twitter today say that claim Joe, like an Ohio State guy, claim Joe Burrow. You can't do that. You can't
do that. I agree. You can't.
Kind of off topic, but that
especially since he won a natty with LSU, you especially can't do it after that.
Yes. 100%.
Okay, we've talked too much about Geno Smith. Moving on, the weirdest line of the week because nobody knows about Josh Allen's elbow. It is Buffalo -5.5 at home against the 7-1 Minnesota Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Over-unders 45.5. I feel like you have to still take the Vikings right now as long as this line keeps going down. If Case Keenum starts, it's going to be a pick-em.
Yep.
Maybe even Bills minus or the Vikings -2.
I don't think there's a more reliant offense on their quarterback than the Buffalo Bills. The reason why is because not only is he unbelievable in the passing game, he is their lead rusher almost every game in like every statistical category. Like he was the only reason they scored points was because they scored 2 rushing touchdowns against the Jets. He literally willed himself into the end zone. Other than that, he had 0 passing touchdowns. So you're talking about taking away your best passing, obviously your quarterback, but on top of that, you're taking away like your rushing game, your ability
your best
to
rusher.
the block. Yeah, that's crazy. Like you have James Cook and like some of these pieces, but they haven't proven to be the dude yet. So if he's out, I'm loving our line even more. And I only got it +7. I don't know what you guys got it. I think you guys got it a little bit better than me, but I got it at +7. I'm happy with it.
Here's the thing about Buffalo. If Josh Allen doesn't play, they don't have a running game outside of him. Singletary, nothing to write home about. They got Nyheim Hines. It's still that's more of a third down back, catch it out of the backfield on the screen. They will just they don't have to try to bottle up the run. They're going to make Case Keenum throw it if he does start. And Case Keenum's no slouch. I just don't see it, though. I think the Vikings are playing too well right now, especially if Josh Allen's out. I think it's worth a take on the Vikings +6 or whatever it's at right now. Even if Josh Allen plays, I don't hate that play.
Even if he plays 100%, because if the Vikings' strength is their running game, which, I guess you could argue either, but like they can run the ball. And like, if you're talking about running the ball, like we've seen the past 2 weeks that the Bills are susceptible to the run. If you can just take the ball out of Josh Allen's hands, like you can
injuries in the secondary too for Buffalo.
Yeah.
Under.
Mm.
Hey, under.
It's a question mark. Under question mark.
I could see a defensive touchdown being scored here by any of the teams, especially if Case Keenum plays. I think the Vikings are capable of doing it, and the Bills are capable of doing it regardless.
If Case Keenum plays, do you genuinely think this Bills offense can score 20+? I don't think that's possible.
The Bills are the number 1 scoring defense, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Case Keenum is a big drop off from Josh Allen, but he's not some new guy that has not been in the league already. I mean, he played for the Vikings. He played during the Minneapolis Miracle, didn't he? Or sometime around there when everybody and their mother was injured. Mm-hmm. I don't know. In my opinion, if you like the Vikings, I would take him now just in case if Josh Allen news comes out where he is playing, I don't know. This one's tough. It's always tough when you have injuries up in the air.
Yep.
Especially on a Tuesday when we're recording this.
I think it's better, if we were recording later.
We're all on the same line here. I think you take the Vikings now if you're listening and it's still like +5.5, +6. I don't think the line moves too much. Like, even if Josh Allen announces he's playing, he's still not going to be 100%. I don't think that line still goes past 7 or 8.
No.
I don't think it pushes past 7. So I think you're in a safe spot with 6. If Case Keenum starts, this line's going down to a pickup.
I agree.
And then you can middle it and have a great day. There you go.
I don't hate that. This will be an interesting game.
I think we figured out Vegas. There we go. Let's move on. This is an interesting game. The Detroit Lions on the road against the Chicago Bears. Bears -2.5, over under 48.5.
I lean over here. I got it at like 46.5 or 47.5. But even at 48.5, Justin Fields, as much as I hate to say it, he's actually looked competent these last 2 weeks, and the Lions defense can't stop anybody.
They stopped Aaron Rodgers in that very high volume Packers offense, right?
Of course. The Packers are awful this year.
I would say I think they may have stopped themselves.
Yeah, that was rough. Those picks in the end zone. Oof.
I love the over.
Not like him.
No, it's not.
I love the over. Lions games. Obviously, Lions and Dolphins exploded. Lions are going to come back. This Bears defense is terrible. We saw, especially without Roquan Smith, they can't stop anything. And I think Jared Goff, I know it burned me last week. It burned me so bad. Jamal Williams' first touchdown, anytime touchdown. I bounced back though with Cooper Kupp. Shout out.
Yep.
I like Jamal Williams anytime touchdown here. DeAndre Swift is going to play a lot more, which makes me like Jamal Williams a lot more to score a touchdown.
Yep.
The more DeAndre Swift plays, the better Jamal Williams is. It's the weirdest thing, but it's true.
It's because they don't have to, play him an every down back. They can give it to him at the goal line twice in a row and be confident he's going to rush it in. The more y'all talk about the over, I kind of agree with that because Justin Fields, like y'all said, has looked competent so far in the last couple of weeks. This Detroit defense isn't anything to write home about. 48.5. I mean, I could easily see this game being a 31-24 game. And that's over the total. That's way over the total. So I don't hate the over at all. I'll probably end up putting a unit on it. I don't think I'll go heavy on it like I did the Dolphins game last week, but I like the over.
Last few weeks, I've been hitting these overs. There's one big over that I like every week. It's my biggest play of the week. I'm not ready to announce this is my biggest play of the week. It is the one that, tickled me the most because last week we had Dolphins, Bears. The week before that, I think it was Dolphins, Lions. We'll talk about the Dolphins the next game, but Dolphins overs are free money.
No defense and a great offense.
Mm-hmm. But we're putting the Lions, Bears in the tickler file for best bet this week. Let's move on. Cleveland at Miami. Miami minus 3.5, over under 48.5. I like the Browns here.
Watson's not back yet, right? That's next week.
Yeah, week against the Texans.
Okay, so he's not back yet. You like the Browns, really?
I like the Browns here. I think they're going to run all over this team. I think they're just going to run all over them. The Browns are going to control the clock. The Browns are going to have 40 minutes of possession.
That's what scares me about the over. You said the Dolphins overs are free money. This time of possession.
That's why I'm staying away from it this week.
Yeah, it kind of scares me. It's a little juiced right now on FanDuel. It's minus 115. People are hitting the over. I don't really like it. I don't think the Dolphins will have the ball as much as they did last week. I think the Browns are going to drain the clock, like you said. I'm probably just going to stay away from this game completely.
I'm on the over here at 47.5. It makes me a little nervous because I am thinking about your guys' logic, and you guys make sense. The Browns can hold time possession for 7-8 minutes of drive, and it's one of the most frustrating things if you have the over.
Mm-hmm. And then they'll kick a field goal.
Yeah, and then Cade York will miss it. I mean,
yep,
it's crazy. So,
not against the Panthers, though. Of course not. Not against the Panthers.
I'm on the over. You guys kind of scared me, but there's nothing I can do about it now.
I don't think it's a bad play, but I'm probably just going to stay away.
It's a stay away game for me, boys. It's a Jets divisional game, so I want the Browns to win, but it's hard for me to bet the Browns in this win, so I'm staying this one away.
The Houston Texans at the New York Giants. Giants minus 6.5. Over under is 40.5. Going to be a gross game. I kind of lean the Texans here.
Same. This is the game I got slated for. I am 100% going to be giving out Saquon Barkley over rushing yards. I'm just going to keep doing it against this Texans team because they cannot stop any running back that they face.
Saquon Barkley, anytime touchdown. And I'm going to double down. I'm going to do a little Danny Dimes anytime touchdown too.
Ooh, okay.
His odds are plus 260, sometimes 250. I think as long as one of them hits, you're fine. I think you can easily hit both of those. It might even be worth putting 3 units on Saquon anytime, 1 on Daniel Jones, and then 1 on Saquon Barkley to score 2 touchdowns.
I think you'll come out if you play those numbers, you'll probably come out with a pretty good profit against this Texans defense. I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, 100%. I don't
because either Saquon scoring twice or they're each scoring 1. I think.
I mean, Miles Sanders was running all over them. Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that play, Dylan. I'm going to stay away from the spread and the total here, but I love the props here. I love the anytime touchdown. I love Barkley yards. What do you think it'll be at? Just shot in the dark.
I would have to imagine it's going to be at 84.5.
Oh,
and I love that. I love that.
To imagine
anything under 100. I'd love it.
Yep.
I do kind of like the Texans plus 6.5 though, with you, Carter. We've been fading the Giants a lot this year. It's not been too profitable, but I don't hate that play for some reason, bro. I kind of like that. They are coming off the bye, though, right?
They are coming off a bye.
Yeah, at home. I might run a half unit with you on the Texans spread, but definitely Barkley, prop plays. I love it.
I'm going to wait until it gets. I'm going to wait to see if it gets to 7. If it gets to 7, I'll definitely take the Texans. Daniel Jones, the Giants are a fine team. Daniel Jones can't pull away like that. He can't. And I understand this Texans team is bad, but I'll be on the Texans if it gets to 7.
Shout out Davis Mills under passing yards, by the way. I just want to.
Yes.
New Orleans at Pittsburgh. New Orleans minus 2.5. Over under 40.5. Stay away. Absolute stay away. Get me out of this game.
I'm on the Saints.
It seems too easy to be on the Saints. That's why I'm a little worried of the Saints. I do kind of like it's a bounce back spot. Get me away from this. I don't want to touch this game. I feel like whatever I pick, I'm on the wrong side.
The game last night makes you like the Saints even more.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
I think Mike Tom was just trying to get Kenny Pickett reps at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan, I read your article. Great article, by the way.
Thank you.
Even before I read that, though, I was already eyeing this game. I think they do win by at least a field goal. I really think they do. The Saints team is not as bad as they looked last night. I think Andy Dalton can beat Pittsburgh. That's all I got to say.
I'm with you. I like the Saints here.
I'm staying away. I'm with Carter on this one. This is like a weird trap rat line, bro. I don't like
I'm not proud of it. But I like this. I like the Saints.
I'm going to stay away. Also, Pittsburgh is kind of in the tankathon,
Yeah.
but I don't think they go quarterback. So I think we're kind of safe there. I think they're going to roll with Pickett one more year.
Yeah.
Denver at Tennessee. Tennessee -3, over under 39.
Yeah. Gross game. I think Denver's kind of back, though. I think not back, but like half back. Like they might be half back.
Is Malik Willis going to play again? Because if Malik Willis is playing, I'm going all in on the Broncos money line.
Yeah, I'm a hammer Broncos.
I think I am too.
Here's my hypothesis. I'm on Broncos +3. Let me give you a couple reasons here. Number one, it's a huge sandwich spot for Titans. We had Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. Next week, we have at Packers on Thursday Night Football. So we're sandwiched in between two big games. I'm thinking that Ryan Tannehill has a high ankle sprain, which means he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks, backdating 2 weeks. So he's going to be out at least 2 to 4 more weeks. The Titans defense was on that field almost the whole game Sunday. They're going to be exhausted against the Broncos. And I don't see a world where if Malik Willis is the quarterback and our defense is tired, even though it made huge strides against Kansas City Sunday night, that the Titans win this game by more than 3.
Dylan, did Derrick Henry look a little tired to you in the second half? Because they really didn't use him as much.
Oh, well, he
looked a
probably
little
is.
gassed.
He probably is. That's all we can do with when
be.
Malik Willis is there. And I'm going to go on the record as well. I'm not anti-Malik Willis. He's going to be good. The fact that there's a quarterback that can scramble now and can escape the pocket and we can run legitimate options and he can keep the ball is great. He has no one to throw to. He has
It's amazing. I've honestly never seen a team for this many years in a row just ride somebody like they ride Derrick Henry. It's actually crazy, which they should. But like at the end of the day, like he's going to get tired.
It's going to go down in flames too. He's going to get an injury. We saw a glimpse of it last year. And then
Todd Gurley.
We're going to be left with nothing. I mean, Tannehill, an average quarterback, and bad receiving core. Apparently maybe a decent defense. I don't know what happened Sunday night. But, yeah, I'm on the Broncos here +3. I like it. I don't trust Denver's offense, but I really don't trust the Titans anything right now.
Right.
Broncos +3. Put it in for me.
Yeah,
I might sprinkle the money line.
Denver defense is nasty, boys. To have Malik Willis go up against that defense is just like
honestly. And then you
right
bring in
up
an injured
there.
Ryan Tannehill. People are going to be overreacting to him coming back. I think this is all the Broncos. I think the Jaguars might have been a get right game for the Broncos.
I kind of agree with that. And here's the thing that I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I need to look more into it. I might sprinkle a little Denver like alternate line minus something crazy like -6.5. I don't know, something crazy like that. Like I legitimately think they could win by a score more.
Can we talk about the Jaguars real quick? Can we work on a working hypothesis that London might actually be Broncos country? I mean,
it's interesting.
I mean, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. That might have been a get right game.
Maybe the Broncos should just play home games in London. All right, let's move on. Jacksonville at Kansas City. Kansas City -9.5, over under 50.5. I kind of like this over.
Give me the Jags. Like the Chiefs cannot cover these big spreads. They proved it again on Sunday night. If they cannot cover the spread with Malik Willis at quarterback, what's going on here? And I can't remember the stat that I gave on Twitter, but this is another time that they're a touchdown or more favorite, and they're not covering a lot.
I would buy the half point, get it to 10.
Yeah, I'm going to wait to 10 for sure. Hopefully it gets there and I'll take it. But man, I don't know. You can't trust the Chiefs here.
I think I'm on the Jags here too. I'm going to take the over in the over and the Jags. I think this game is going to be 31-23. Weird score like that. I think it's going to be 31-23. I think Chiefs roll early. Chiefs first half might be a decent play, and then like Jags full game. I think it's going to be like 24-3, at halftime, and the Jags just start scoring garbage points. We saw them come back against the Raiders. I think we kind of see a similar path in this game as well. I don't think they win this game, but I do think they cover the spread, and I do think there's going to be a lot of points. Give me over 50.5.
I don't hate that at all. I personally am probably going to stay away. I may take the Jags if it gets to +10, or I might end up buying the hook. But as of right now, I think I'm going to stay away from this just because betting against the Chiefs is scary. Takes a lot out of you. Betting that under. We went to war. We went to war against that under.
I was a fallen soldier. I couldn't even make it through the game. I had a migraine. I died.
Carter's out there with dysentery.
That second half was gross, and that's exactly what we needed. This is exactly what we needed.
I was Bubba Gump.
Oh my God. I'm with you, Connor, bro. I'm taking what Connor. This is a stay away game for me, man. Keep it short and simple for the reasons he mentioned. Stay away game. But if I leaned, I would lean Jags because you guys, for the reasons you mentioned, I do like.
I've got more plays that I like a lot more on other games. So this game, I don't need to reach on.
Yep.
The Indianapolis Colts at the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders -6.5. Over under 42.5. Oh, under.
No. Thumbs down. Gross game. I won't be watching.
Oh, gross game. Oh, yep. Well, I was gonna say I kind of like the over here.
Interim head coach game.
Yep. I think. Yeah. I think it's Colts. I think it's Colts +6.5. 6.5 is our sweet spot, Dylan.
No, you're right.
And there's a chance we see Josh McDaniels get fired right after this game.
Yes. Yep. Did you see that?
I know he's a first-year head coach, but it's this bad.
Did you see the Colts, who they're going to have call plays? It's like the assistant, like one of like the lower assistants is going to be like the play caller for this game.
It's like Landrew Muck, something like that. He's calling plays.
I had to think about that for a second. How much is too much for them to see of Sam Ehlinger? Like, when does Matt Ryan come back? Does he?
No, never. Because then they have to give up a draft pick.
Wait, what do you mean? I'm not familiar with this.
If Matt Ryan plays enough games, they forfeit their first round draft pick.
First round?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay, never mind. Then Ehlinger's the starter for the rest of the year.
Yeah, if he plays a certain amount of snaps, it's a certain percentage of snaps, then they lose their first round draft pick to,
that is rough.
I guess the Falcons or whatever.
Yeah. I'm just gonna stay away from this just because it's disgusting. I might take an anytime touchdown in this game. Who's to say? I might take Devontae Adams. He had a good week last week. I don't know. Grant, Dylan, y'all got anything?
Absolutely not.
No. Even towards the nope.
I want to take the Colts so bad, but like I almost don't even know if this counts as an interim coach game. Like obviously it does. There is Jeff Saturday coming in as an interim coach, but he wasn't truly in the building like some of these other dudes are. Like when like the Raiders had their dude Rick whatever come in, like he was the special teams coach. He was such a locker room guy.
Versace.
Comes in. Steve Wilkes, locker room guy, comes up. Jeff Saturday coming in off TV, doing some consulting here and there. I don't know if this is a true interim coach game. So I think I'm allowed to stay away from this.
It's so weird because working on like the show Get Up, like he was on that show like once a week, every week, and they do like the pancake segment. So he's like spiking pancakes on air and like throwing them around. And now he's the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts like 3 days later. It's just crazy to see.
All righty, let's move on. The Dallas Cowboys -5 at the Green Bay Packers, over under 42.5. This is a weird line. This is a weird line. Cowboys 5-point favorites in Lambeau. Like I feel like some spooky stuff's going down where the Packers cover this game, but I'm going to stay away.
The only thing, Dylan, go ahead, Dylan.
I don't have anything, but if you like the Cowboys, I'd get it now. I think it's going to go up to like 6 or 6.5 by the time kickoff comes. That's a beautiful thing about doing the shows this early is you can try to predict that kind of stuff. I'm not going to take anything, but if you like the Cowboys, I'd get it now.
The only thing I'm looking at here is the total is 42.5. I don't mind that over. I'm not going to take it, but like if I had to choose a side, I don't hate that over. I know the Packers have been god awful this year, but they're at home. I could see it going over.
Micah Parsons might kill Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's possible.
Grant, anything in this one, please tell me no.
I don't know, man. You guys are kind of like talking me into taking Green Bay just to be different. I might wait for the end of the week and then just take whatever Green Bay line. I think I'm going to put a half unit on it. I'm going to take Green Bay plus the points against Cowboys, see what happens.
If I take Green Bay, Grant, I'm taking the money line. How about that?
Ooh. I don't hate that. I don't hate that either, bro. Look, Green
I
Bay's
don't like
bad.
I don't like
bad.
Cowboys as a 5-point favorite.
I don't
like
either.
Dylan mentioned, it might go up to 6 in Lambeau.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't.
It's Aaron Rodgers. I know we keep saying it's a different Aaron Rodgers, but it's still Aaron Rodgers at the end of the day.
I mean, the
Let's
Jets
move
beat
on,
the hell
though.
out of them, bro, in Lambeau. So, like,
Well, everybody beat the hell out of him this year. So what are you going to say?
but in Lambeau, like what you're saying.
Arizona at the Los Angeles Rams. Loser leaves town game. Cliff Kingsbury might leave town game if he loses, possibly, question mark. Loser leaves town game. The Rams -3, home favorite, over under 43.5. It's the Rams here. It's the Rams every which way.
I was already leaning Rams. Read Dylan's article. Lock it in. That's all the confirmation I needed.
I walked upstairs. We fell back last weekend. I walked upstairs to use the bathroom. It was dark. 6 p.m. It's dark. And I look out into the sky and I just see a sky full of stars straight out of a Coldplay song. And I reach up and I grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I put it on the Rams, baby. The Rams are going to blow out the Arizona Cardinals. It is not even going to be close. People are still riding on this Arizona Cardinals team from when they played the Saints on Thursday Night Football and beat them by 8 with those 2 pick sixes. This is a very overinflated line for the Cardinals. One of the worst pass defenses in all of professional football. They give up a crap ton of penalties on defense, and the Rams are going to figure it out at home in this divisional game, and they're going to beat the Cardinals. They're going to beat them by a lot. -3, 5 stars. 5 stars.
5 stars. Oh, double. I'm doubling down. That's all I need
I'm
to
on the
hear.
Rams.
Absolutely. I love it, boys. You guys are
go.
I don't know if it's a 5-star play, but I do love the Rams in this one. I do think it's the right play, like you said. There's the Cardinals have proven nothing throughout the season, bro, to suggest that they're like amazing. And I understand Rams have had a very up and down year.
They beat the Carolina Panthers.
Mostly down.
Powerhouse.
It's for all the reasons Dylan just said, and the fact that he's so convinced out with a 5-star play. I like it, bro. Let's run it, boys.
Another little stat: the Rams have only allowed 42% of red zone trips on defense. They've only allowed a touchdown 42% of the time.
I feel like we're getting the Rams cheap here, boys.
Yeah.
Also, I want to ask here: does anybody know the DeAndre Hopkins, Jalen Ramsey stats? I feel like Jalen Ramsey owns DeAndre Hopkins.
I'll have to look into that. I didn't think about that.
That's a good
We'll get
variable.
stats department on that one, but that's going to be an interesting matchup. DeAndre Hopkins has been unbelievable, but this Rams team's going to whoop them. 10, 20 point win. Easy. Don't even think about it.
They got to figure it out, and I think this week they do.
Cooper Kupp might have 150 yards. Sunday Night Football, the Los Angeles Chargers at the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers -7, over under 45.5. This spread is a little funky. It's a lot of points for San Fran. I will say, though, give me every single McCaffrey prop money can buy.
I was going to say, I'm going to hit McCaffrey receptions 100%. It's free money.
Rush yards too.
Rush yards too? I guess so.
This Chargers rush defense is not good. They are terrible. Tyler Algier ran for 100 yards on them last week.
Yep.
Is Keenan Allen / Mike Williams going to be back this week at all? Keenan Allen's like supposedly, but like he hasn't played since week 1. I don't know. The Chargers have been very suspect, but 7's a lot of points. I'm honestly, this game's got me in a pretzel. I don't know what to do. I might just take the props.
It's got me in a pretzel too. I looked at the stats, and when I first looked at the offensive stats, I thought the Chargers, and then I looked at the defensive stats, and I thought the 49ers. 7 points is a lot. I don't know. Normally, teams that perform well going into the bye come out a little flat after the bye, and that also made me kind of lean Chargers. And the converse is true as well. Teams that are looking bad into the bye usually come out better. So I lean Chargers. I may end up taking it game time, but I don't know. We'll see.
I kind of lean the 49ers here. I just don't think this Chargers team is good. They're just not. Because, I mean, these receivers are just Walmart receivers, man. They're terrible. I mean, Josh Palmer's your number one target, him and Gerald Everett. That's terrible. That's terrible.
I would kill for some Walmart receivers.
True. Tennessee.
That's rough. Yeah. Oof.
It's basically the same story.
This spread's weird, boys. This is stay away from me. Whack.
Yeah,
Whack.
but every McCaffrey prop.
I weirdly think it'll be a good game, though.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a good game.
I don't hate the Niners on a tease either, even though teasers are a little sketch this year. Teasers they're trending very downwards like the stock market.
You know what I don't hate? I don't hate the 49ers first half -3.5. They might come out hot. I don't hate that.
I don't hate that either. It's going to be a very Niners crowd, obviously, since the Chargers have no fans. But Monday night, Washington at Philadelphia. Philadelphia's -11, over under 44. Dude, the Commanders win this game outright.
I kind of like the Commanders, just gut feeling. I don't know.
11 points in a divisional game. Ron Rivera possibly coaching for his job.
Riverboat Ron, baby. Yeah, I'm not going to bet it, but I lean Commanders with the points for sure.
Like double-digit points in a divisional game. I almost always take the underdog. That's just these divisional games always end up being tight. An official play I have the Commanders for a unit. I have the under here for 3. I actually really like this game to be low scoring. You're giving me division game, prime time. That right there is a recipe for an under. The Commanders are going to have to run the ball because the Eagles have that pass defense. It's amazing, but they aren't as good against the run. I think Brian Robinson's going to get involved. Antonio Gibson's going to get involved, and this clock's going to be ticking for the entirety of the game.
All right. Well, we've previewed all the games. I don't know why, it's kind of boring.
There's no crazy matchups that I'm like my mouth isn't watering over watching any of these games.
And there's no spreads besides the Rams where I'm like, oh man. Last week I found a lot of games where I was like, I really like the Chargers here. I really like the over here. I don't have that feeling this week, but I do have the feeling that we will hit back-to-back NFL parlays. Go 4 out of 10, batting 400, beyond Hall of Fame numbers. Ted Williams can't even sniff us.
Carter, you don't want to know why you're not salivating over this card, bros? Because the Jets have a bye. That's what that looks like.
Yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. Or maybe college basketball's back, and I'm just so far deep in college basketball. I love it.
It's like that meme. It's like that meme where you're holding the girl's hand. It's like NFL and college football, and then you're looking backwards at college basketball, and it's like.
And then the World Cup's like behind that too.
Yeah, the World Cup's just like peeking out from the back, a little blurred out.
World Cup is gonna be like this for me. Baby, cannot wait for soccer. All right, I think it's time. Run through quick picks. Obviously, a lot of our picks are going to change. Just picks you are guaranteed to take right now, not leans, guaranteed to take right now. And then we'll post our full cards on the website since we are doing this on a Tuesday. We typically do Wednesdays or Thursday nights. We're going to put it all on the website Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Watch out for that. We'll have all of our picks on there, every single pick.
Sounds good to me.
Connor, give me your locked picks you are guaranteed to take.
Guaranteed already.
No Thursday night plays in here or I guess you can say the Thursday night plays on here. Don't worry about Thursday night plays on the website.
I don't even think I'm going to end up taking anything on Thursday night.
Plays
I've already locked in. Rams -3. I love the Rams, and I might double down on that. That might be my biggest play. Also like the Broncos +3. I might sprinkle like a little half unit on the money line. Saints are a lean for me. We'll see about that one. Dylan's article is very good. Check it out if you haven't read it. I do like the Saints in that one. Anyways, got the Vikings +5.5 as well as a sprinkle on the money line. I got the Bears over. I'm going to sprinkle the Packers money line and then any kind of McCaffrey prop. Oh, also last one, Bucs -2.5. I think they bounce back this week. So kind of a decent sized card, a lot bigger than college.
That's a lot big. Yeah, it's a lot bigger than I thought it'd be. All right, Dylan, go.
I have the Falcons -1.5 Thursday night. I also have, Tampa Bay -1.5, Denver +3. I have the under 40 in that game. Over 47.5, Browns, Dolphins, Saints -2.5. Lions, Bears over 46.5. Vikings +9.5, Bills -6.5. Rams -3. I have the over in that game at 45. I hate that now, but I took that early. Commanders +10.5. Commanders, Eagles under 45.
Great.
All right. Seattle Bucs over 44.5. I have the Houston Texans for a half unit +6.5. Let's see. The Vikings +7. I took that before, so it's now +5.5, but I took it for +7. Denver +3. Rams -3, and then Packers money line with our boy, with Connor. Me and him are both taking that.
Got a sprinkle.
That's it. Yep.
All right, we're losing you, Grant. Well, I'll hurry this up. I'm with you. Tampa Bay, Seattle over 44.5. Is there a Stephon Diggs revenge game in this Vikings game?
Ooh.
We'll see. I'll put a play up on
Nice.
Saturday night, Sunday. Bears, Lions over. Man, I want to take the Texans so bad, but I'm going to hold off. Give me all the Saquon props and then Daniel Jones anytime touchdown on
Saquon
there.
props, yep.
Broncos +3 against the Titans. Colts, I'm going to hold off. I like the interim coach game, but going to hold off. Dylan, I'm going to join you. I'm going to do at least 3 units on the Rams -3. That might get upgraded to a 5-star play as well.
Let's go.
It just makes too much sense to take the Rams. And then every McCaffrey prop you can ever imagine in your wildest dreams on the Sunday night game. McCaffrey's going to steamroll that game. Or steamroll the Chargers. I think I'm going to take McCaffrey first touchdown, anytime touchdown, 2 touchdowns, receiving props, receptions, and rushing yards.
Passing
every which
touchdown.
way.
Passing touchdown, screw it.
He might have 200 plus all-purpose yards. I'm going to wait on the Monday night game. I lean Commanders +11, but I'm going to hold off on that. And I'll have more anytime touchdown plays. Oh, Jags Chiefs over 50.5. Jags lean right now. And then let's do the parlay. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Ooh,
Are we putting the Rams in here?
I'm putting the Rams in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you aren't, I was.
Okay, because I just wanted to make sure because we do have a lot riding on the Rams already.
Mm-hmm.
So we're keeping
I
the
still
Rams
love
in
it.
there.
I still love it.
They're
That's
paying
fine.
for the wedding food.
There we go. We already have caviar. If you can't afford caviar after 3 plus 1,200 parlay hits, and I don't know what you're doing. All right, Rams -3. Grant, go.
Denver +3.
Oh,
Nice.
shit.
I love
Those are my
it.
2.
Oh my gosh.
Denver +3, baby, for sure.
Love it.
That hurts because those are my 2. Now I don't know what to do.
I'm sorry, Connor.
Carter, do you have one?
I'm deciding between 2.
What are they? Let's talk it out.
Jags Chiefs over 50.5, or Lions Bears over 48.5. I know that's a little tricky. This is the hardest one I've brought up.
Should we do them both? And I'll take one of them.
You want one of them?
I've already got the Bears over on my card, so I would take that one if you want to take the Chiefs Jags. I don't know. What do you think? I could be swayed either way because they took both my other ones.
You want to go Packers +5?
Oh, I can't do that. I can't bet the Packers in the parlay.
The money line, bro.
I can't do that.
That'd be
I
so
can't.
baller.
Actually, we're gonna go Commanders.
What about Browns +3.5?
I think I'm gonna do the Bears over. I think I like the Bears Lions over for my pick.
All right, I'll go Jags Chiefs over 50.5.
Let's go.
All right.
Okay.
Let's
All
go.
right, that's it.
We need points. We need points.
That's so
That's
beautiful.
the end. Grant, what was your play again? I already forgot.
Denver +3.
Broncos.
Denver +3.
I
Okay,
love it.
that's,
Oh, I
I
love
love
it.
that one. That's what I was going to say that one too. All right, that's the NFL parlay this week. It is Rams -3 against the Arizona Cardinals, Denver Broncos +3 against the Tennessee Titans, over 48.5 in Bears Lions, and then over 50.5 Chiefs Jaguars. Going back to back, boys. Going back to back.
We're looking to get on another hot streak. We've been pretty money so far on these, so I have a lot more confidence.
That's it. There we go.
Let's do it, baby.
That's it. There we go. Boom. Gonna go
I
back
love
to
it,
back.
dude.
Gonna be so easy.